Ms. Autry, you say the defendant is taking advantage of your son by pinning a baby on him, and you have physical proof that her 2-year-old daughter, Skyla, is not your grandchild. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
She barged into her son's wedding mid-ceremony, called the bride man-hungry, and examined the baby's toes like a forensic scientist. Also, she swore, until proven otherwise, that child is not her grandbaby. But behind the insults and the toe comparisons, there's a family hanging on by a thread.
You say she entrapped him, but she's giving him money. She's doing this for what? To what end? What does she want
She
from
want a
him?
man of her own.
But Ms. Martin has had enough. She's not just the alleged mother of Ms. Autry's grandchild, she's also her daughter-in-law. Yes, Ms. Martin married Ms. Autry's son, but not without drama. Ms. Autry tried to shut the wedding down, got out of bed, stormed down the street, determined to stop the ceremony. When she arrived, they literally rerouted a wedding to escape the mother-in-law.
To me, what's
I got
going
a
on?
phone call that she was getting married down the street from my house. So I got out of my bed and I started walking down the street to where she was getting married at.
Ms. Autry doesn't pull punches. She's even earned a nickname in her neighborhood, Queen DNA, because she refuses to bond with any baby until the results are in. She says this isn't about hate, it's about proof. The accuser claims her son's baby has crossed toes, but that little girl's toes don't cross. She checked. And if it's not the toes, it's the eyebrows.
I don't have the toes like my son.
Yes,
His
she
toes
does.
cross,
Yes, she
his big
does.
toe is here and his just toe next
They
to his toe.
overlap.
It crawls over like that. And I have proof, Your Honor, that that is not his baby because her toes don't do that.
Yes, they do,
And she
Your
don't have
Honor.
Ms. Martin says this denial has nothing to do with toes or DNA. It's about something far more petty. And for 2 years, she claims Ms. Autry has refused to even acknowledge baby Skyla. No babysitting, no gifts, and not even a hug. But when asked if Ms. Autry would help care for Skyla during the week so her daughter-in-law could work, she gave a really absurd response.
But she's not my son. Look at her eyebrows.
Have you ever asked her, will you watch Skyla? Will you take care of Skyla?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if they go to the
No, they
club, they
don't.
got to pay to get in the club. They got to pay for their drink. They got to pay to park. So they're going to
But
pay
that's
me to
not
babysit.
why.
Okay.
The eyebrow argument gets louder. Ms. Autry says Skyla's lashes aren't long enough, the eyebrows are too light, and the feet are too small. Even when her own daughter, Ms. Martin's sister-in-law, testifies that Skyla is family, Ms. Autry shuts it down. She claims she doesn't see it. She's had 6 grandbabies, so she believes she knows what hers look like.
Miss Cooper, you are Miss Autry's daughter.
Yes, ma'am. Look at her eyebrows.
Look how old she is, though. My daughter's 2 years old. She's 30, so there's a big difference there.
But things take a sharp turn when another man enters the courtroom. He says he's the father. A man from Mississippi Martin's past steps up and claims they slept together. According to him, Ms. Martin's told him he could be the father. And the twist? He used to date Ms. Autry's daughter, which means Ms. Martin once slept with her sister-in-law's man.
Let's be clear. Did you sleep with another man?
Yes, Your Honor.
You did.
Prior to him coming back into my life, yes. August 2013, and he came back into my life in 2014, June.
Now, she claims she never told her sister-in-law's ex he was the father, but he's standing in court saying otherwise, and the eyebrow debate suddenly feels trivial. Skyla is caught between a grandmother who won't accept her, a mother desperate for help, a father trying to hold it together, and a man who might have fathered her by accident.
No, when my husband was away, Your Honor, he was, doing a lot of different things with other women, and I was emotional.
So you all aren't together anymore?
No, ma'am. I believe she's my brother's daughter because she looked just like my other niece.
Ms. Martin breaks down. She claims Skyla is not just her daughter. She's part of this family, so she deserves to be loved like her siblings. But Ms. Autry holds her ground. She doesn't apologize, doesn't soften, but she waits. And all eyes turn to one thing, the results. All right, I think we've heard enough. Let's move on to the most crucial part of this case. It's time for the DNA test results.
Biological father is Mr. Martin.
I'll take that for 200, Your Honor.
Ms. Lima, you admit to making a huge mistake and hope it doesn't affect your baby Christina. You had an affair with Mr. Anderson, who is married, and believe he's your daughter's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
He told her it was just one night. She says it was every weekend, for 2 years. He says he barely remembers her. She says she's been inside his house, met his kids, and got pregnant with his child. And his wife? She didn't even know he knew her name. Now, 1 child, 2 possible fathers, and a marriage hanging by a single thread. It all started with a Facebook message.
Mr. Anderson was messaging me on Facebook, so we started being friends online for about 1.5 years. Then out of the blue one day, he called me and said, let's go out for dinner. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not doing anything anything, so why not? We went out to dinner and we got a hotel room that night. We had that.
Ms. Lima said it was casual at first, flirting, friendly, then dinner, then a hotel room. Then everything changed. The young woman claims they were seeing each other every weekend, and the defendant was in her life constantly. But Mr. Anderson insists it was one night, one mistake, and he didn't see her again.
Believe you are sorry.
Your Honor, it was a big mistake, and you know, I really want my marriage, and I want my marriage to work. But it
I
started.
see your wife next to you, and I feel her pain.
Ms. Lima? She laughs at that. The plaintiff claims she has been inside his house and has met his kids, and when she described his furniture in detail, even he had to admit she was telling the truth. Sitting in the courtroom just a few feet away is Mrs. Anderson, his wife of 10 years. She probably believed her husband's story. Perhaps she believed it was a one-time mistake, until today. Now Mrs. Anderson's entire world is spiraling, because it's not just the betrayal, it's the possibility of a child that could change everything, a baby born out of a lie.
I went to his house numerous of times, but in his house,
Wait, excuse me. You went to his house numerous times?
Yes, I went to his house numerous of times, and I told her what was in her house, and I described it to her.
Oh my God.
Ms. Lima says when she found out she was pregnant, she tried to reach Mr. Anderson. No answer, no reply. So she showed up to his family. They rejected her. They shut the door in her face. The accuser claims she felt humiliated, so she turned to the only other man she was with during that time. Yes, another man. And just like that, the triangle becomes a square.
And when you find out you're pregnant, who do you tell?
I went to Mr. Anderson at first. I went to his family at first. I couldn't contact him, so I went to his family, and I got rejected by them.
The other man, Mr. Scott, enters the courtroom. He says he met Ms. Lima at a gas station, took her out for Valentine's Day, and soon after, they were sleeping together. She told him she was pregnant, and he believed he might be the father, until she admitted there was someone else. So Mr. Scott did what he thought was right. He showed up, stayed close, and supported her when he could, but he wasn't at the baby's birth. And over time, doubt began to creep in.
Support her through the pregnancy? Were you there at doctor's appointments?
Yes, Your Honor, I was there throughout the pregnancy.
You was not there.
I reject, Your Honor. I reject. I reject
You
that.
object. You can reject the statement.
I object that, Your Honor.
Object too, but that's all right. You better go ahead and practice you some law, baby.
Ms. Lima says her daughter Christina resembles Mr. Anderson's other children, but Mrs. Anderson throws that theory out the window. She believes her kids haven't been around her. How would she even know what they look like? That's when Ms. Lima drops the next bombshell, and that bomb has Mrs. Anderson stunned to her very core.
Mr. Anderson has a child that she looks exactly like her, like the way her eyes is.
You know what his kids look like?
Yes.
She been around my children. Are you serious?
Wait a minute. When?
Are you serious?
And Mr. Anderson? He's silent. Now, with the world watching, Mr. Anderson says he's sorry. He wants to repair the damage and rebuild his family. But every new detail puts another crack in the foundation. First, it was one night, then a few nights, then she's in his house, then he's bringing his kids to meet her. Each time, another lie collapses. And his wife? She's not sure what to believe anymore. And can you blame her for that?
Mr. Anderson
No,
be
you
my child's
don't.
father. He's more stable.
You want the baby dad to be the baby dad, and it's not him.
No, it's Mr.
It's
Mr.
not
Anderson.
him. It's
Mr.
not him.
Anderson.
It's
Okay.
not him.
We'll see today.
Get it together.
We'll see today.
Get it together.
We'll see today.
Girl, get your life.
At the center of all this is baby Christina, innocent, blameless, yet surrounded by uncertainty. Is her father the man who disappeared, or the one who tried to be there but wasn't sure? Ms. Lima says she's ready to know the truth, for her daughter, for herself, and for whatever future is still salvageable. And Mr. Anderson, if he's the father, his marriage may not survive. If he's not, his wife still has to live with everything she learned today. Okay? I think we've heard enough. Now let's move on to the most important part of this hearing. It's time for the DNA test results.
Mr. Scott, you are not her father. Ms. Streeter, you claim that during your relationship with the defendant, he convinced you to get pregnant with his child, but what you didn't know is that he was a married man.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hartfield told his mistress he wanted a baby. He tracked her ovulation, went with her to get her birth control removed, told her this time he'd be a real father. But what he didn't tell her was that he already had a family. Ms. Streeter says the relationship was real. 8 months of dates, intimacy, late-night conversations. He said he never got the chance to raise his other kids, and this would be his redemption.
Mr. Hartfield asked me to have a baby with him. We were dating for about 8 months, a long time. We were in a relationship, a committed relationship with just me and him. And throughout the whole relationship, he wanted to have a baby. He said he didn't get to raise any of his.
5 months into the pregnancy, there was an unexpected silence. The accuser claims she couldn't reach him. He stopped answering. So she did the only thing she could think of. She texted his wife. That's how she found out. But Mr. Hartfield's story? He says it was all a game. He claims she's 22 and he had to keep her calm. If he didn't play along, she'd ruin his life. Mr. Hartfield tries to brush Ms. Streeter's allegations off. He claims he was pacifying her, but when the text messages came out in court, he couldn't deny it. The defendant claims he sent those messages, but he only did it so she wouldn't report his or call his wife again.
So I believed him. Matter of fact, I didn't even call her. I text her and let her know, like, your husband's been treating on you for 8 months and I'm 5 months pregnant. He's trying to make it seem like we was never in a relationship and that this never happened, but he just texted me just recently trying to get back with me.
All this while, Mrs. Hartfield has been seated on the sidelines. It's about time we heard what she has to say. S says one moment she was at work. The next, she's reading a message from a stranger claiming to be pregnant by her husband. Her response? Best of luck. He won't take care of that one either. Cold, final, and deeply telling.
Young woman?
No, he did not.
How did you even find out about this entire affair?
The text message that I received from her.
You get a text message.
A random text message that says, I'm in a relationship with your husband and have been for 8 months and I'm pregnant.
Ms. Streeter stood firm. Apparently, it was not a game to her. He literally told her she's his family, but now that the baby's here, he's running. In court, she brought the paperwork, a birth certificate with his name printed, then a new version, his name removed. He held the baby, smiled, and said the baby was his. But somewhere between the hospital and the courthouse, he flipped. Now he's claiming she was with other men. Now he says he was manipulated.
When the baby was born, he was excited, like, you know, that's my baby, that's my boy. I never got to see none of my kids born. I want to be with you. Let's make this work. We got a child. He needs to be in the house with both parents.
Were you telling her these things, Mr. Hartfield?
No.
Mrs. Hartfield thought they lived together. No idea he had a second apartment. No idea he was meeting Ms. Streeter there. No idea he was bringing her son there too. Photos don't lie. Ms. Streeter brought pictures. 3 visits to the secret apartment with the baby. The judge turns to Mr. Hartfield and questions him if his wife knew this place existed. He tried to backtrack, blamed pressure, said he was forced to play along, but the court wasn't buying it.
Love her, God knows I do. During the time that Dominique and I met, I had my own place.
He was still living with me. I didn't know he had his own place.
Mrs. Hartfield, composed but furious, laid it out clearly. She claims she knew about the affair, but it was unknown to her that it was still going, and she sure didn't know she was sharing her husband with someone 20 years younger. Ms. Streeter didn't flinch. According to her, he told her she was his queen. Now both women stand in the courtroom, realizing they were both being played.
I knew they had a relationship, and it was, I don't want to be with her. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I want to be with you. Yada, yada, yada. Can we work it out?
And I can see this really upsets you.
It's foolishness.
This baby deserves the truth. He's 1 month old and has no idea of the chaos swirling around his name. Ms. Streeter says she doesn't care if she's hurt. She just wants to know who her son's father is. Mr. Hartfield says she's just trying to trap him. He made her believe he had money. Turns out he doesn't. Now he feels he played her.
I have given you every opportunity to tell your story and also acknowledge the fact that you have led this young girl down a road to nowhere.
Okay.
Now she may have a child by you, but I think I'm really just talking long enough because I want to give the women an opportunity to understand so they can run while they can.
As amusing as Mr. Hartfield thinks he is, no one's laughing, especially not the judge. He has completely made a fool of himself. I believe we've heard enough of this back and forth. Now let's move on to the most important part of this hearing. It's time for the DNA test results.
Mr. Hartfield, you are the father.
Okay, that's cool.
Miss Cotton, you say Mr. Pendleton's meddling mother is the reason he is denying your 5-month-old daughter, Love Cotton. You claim you are 100% positive he's the father and plan to set the record straight today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
5-month-old Love is caught in the middle of a mess. Her mother says she's 100% certain who the father is. Her alleged father says it's impossible. Why? Because his mother said so. Ms. Cotton says she's tired. Tired of the whispers. Tired of the back and forth. Tired of the denial. She claims he knows that's his baby, but his mama's in his ear, telling him it's not.
His mother needs to mind her business. Like, at the end of the day, Darren is a grown man, and I understand he's a mama's boy or however she treats him because that's your child. That's fine and dandy. But he's a grown man now, and he needs to stand up and take care of his responsibilities.
The accuser says she didn't lie, didn't hide, didn't play games. She even claims they planned this baby together. They tracked her ovulation together and he was there when she got her birth control removed. But now he's acting like he barely knows her. Mr. Pendleton says he can't have children. That's his claim. No medical diagnosis, no test, just 6 years of failed attempts.
We were together for a while and then we separated, but we were still having sex.
So how many years were you together? How long?
About 10 months, and then we separated, and then we were still, dealing with each other. But when she got pregnant, she told me she was pregnant. And then like 2 weeks later, she called me and said it's a possibility, that the baby might not.
But it gets even messier, because Ms. Cotton did admit to sleeping with someone else, once in April. At first, it was protected sex until it wasn't. So the court wants to know, if the condom came off, how can you be 100% sure? Now we get why the defendant is having doubts, but that doesn't guarantee that he didn't father the child in question.
I slept with one person in April.
Okay, so you slept with somebody.
Right, but how many times though? Like she told me it was once.
One time in April.
But how can I believe you?
We were not together. So at the end of the day, I'm a grown woman. I can do whatever I want with my body.
So how are you 100% sure?
But wait a minute, if you slept, if you slept with somebody in April.
And what about Grandma? She said they shouldn't bring the baby around her until there's a test. Ms. Cotton reminds her, when Grandma had surgery, she was the one sitting beside her in the hospital, back when she was still the girlfriend, back when everyone played nice. So what happened to the beautiful bond they once had?
Is tell him, do not get attached to this child until you find out whether or not she's yours. I told him I didn't want him to bring the baby around me for the same reason.
But I didn't want my baby around you anyway. She has a whole family that loves her.
Ms. Cotton admits she told him, at one point, there was a chance the baby wasn't his. She claims she said it out of anger because he was stringing her along, saying they'd be a family. Then she found out he's got a whole new girlfriend. But Mr. Pendleton says she only wants him to be the dad because he's responsible.
Well, hold on, Noel.
So she called me one day,
would pop up.
wanted me to do something. I was like, I can't do it. She said, well, I'm glad the baby not yours anyway. This is in text messages on Messenger and Facebook. Like, shit, my mom up told her the same thing. The baby not yours. I don't want nothing from y'all. Leave me alone. And then 2 weeks later, or a couple of days, she'll hit me back like, oh, baby yours.
But the damage was done. Now Ms. Cotton says she's had enough. According to her, something happened last night. The courtroom gasps. Ms. Cotton smirks as the judge asks if he wants to plead the fifth on what happened last night. But Mr. Pendleton avoids eye contact. His mother shifts uncomfortably. Whatever happened, it wasn't part of his "I'm just here for the DNA" story.
Changed my whole entire pregnancy.
But you don't.
You still acting like if love come back that she's yours, we gonna be together. What about last night?
I'm gonna be there with her.
The judge asks the obvious question, but the defendant has never been tested for infertility. His entire belief that he's sterile is just a feeling. Now, it's kind of convincing that he could actually be the little baby's biological father. But we can't jump into conclusion because of the other potential father in the picture. Only one thing can give us clarity on this court case.
The whole paternity is between me and him, but you subjected yourself into it, so what are you saying?
I'm just saying, listen, man, look.
He asked me. Thank you.
Right,
Mama's boy.
Listen. You never had a test. You never had any confirmation.
No.
As it turns out, Mr. Pendleton wasn't there for the child's delivery. His excuse? He didn't want to get too attached without a DNA test. And all these doubts are present due to several factors. Despite all the denial, the judge points to the pictures submitted in court. A father cradling his daughter, smiling, beaming. He says the baby isn't his, but the pride in his eyes in the submitted pictures say otherwise. Well, I guess we've heard enough. Let's move on to the part that will settle this once and for all. It's time for the DNA test results.
Mr. Pendleton, you are the father. Mr. McKee met on an online dating website, and the conversation quickly jumped offline and into Mr. McKee's bed. You believed you were in a committed relationship with the defendant and was devastated when he denied your pregnancy. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
They met online, started talking, and started hooking up. For her, it felt real, but for him, it was just convenient. Ms. Thomas says she was driving 45 minutes to see him every other day. She left after her kids were asleep, coming back before they woke up. They spent nights together, they laughed, they connected, and yes, they slept together regularly.
I met on a dating website, as you spoke. We started off talking, and then once we started knowing each other, who we were.
How long did you talk on the phone?
Maybe about a month or two.
Okay.
And then I started going to see him, maybe like a 45-minute drive from where I live, like every other day. So I'm assuming like I'm spending the night, staying the night with him.
Mr. McKee says he was never serious. He claims they never talked about a relationship. She was attractive, and that's what it was. But if he wasn't ready for a commitment like he said, why have several unprotected sex with her? Now, when the pregnancy came up, she had a test and got a positive result. So, she took a photo and sent it straight to him. His response wasn't what she expected. Then he vanished.
I wasn't ready, Your Honor.
Okay, say something else besides that. No, really, Mr. McKee. Tell me about it, though. You know, a lot of times we're in situations.
The defendant isn't shy to admit that he didn't want to deal with it, but the craziest part is that he blocked her number. He didn't even bother to ask if she was okay, didn't show up, didn't call. How could be so cold-blooded, Mr. McKee? That shows the relationship was a fling to him and nothing more.
Thank you, sir.
But she called me when she was like 3 months pregnant. I know I got a phone call, I was at work, and I told her I'd call her back, but I ended up blocking her number.
What?
He blocked it after we had that conversation. After we had that
Really?
conversation,
After I blocked the number.
Mr. McKee says when he saw Carson's photo, he had doubts. Because the child looks biracial, he automatically thought she was already pregnant before he met her, or probably she was seeing someone else at the same time. She denies that, but what makes the situation more awkward is the number of kids she already had before birthing the baby in question.
And I told him I just had my baby. He still couldn't really believe me. He was like, send me some pictures. He was at work then. He was like, send me some pictures. So I sent him some pictures. And he's like, that's my baby. Are you sure that's my baby?
Mr. McKee says he was shocked when he learned how many kids she already had. He clearly didn't know she had 8. He was as shocked as we are right now. So he started questioning her story, her character, and her intentions. Boy, can you blame him for having more doubts after this eye-opening revelation?
I didn't know she had 8 kids, you know.
He knew I had
7. This little boy make 8.
Yeah.
So, Mr. McKee, she sent you a text with the picture of the baby. Your first response was what?
The baby look like he can be for Donald Trump.
But if there is one thing we have to take into account, their relationship timeline moved fast. They met April 1st. By April 20th, they were sleeping together, and that alone casted more doubts on Mr. McKee's mind. He felt it was too easy for him to get in bed with her, so he felt that's how easy it was for other men to get in bed with her as well.
McKee, you thinking maybe she was already pregnant? Is that what you were thinking? Because it was only a 1-month affair?
No, it was a affair for longer than a month. It's just how fast it happened in a month.
Wait a minute, explain that.
I meet you April the 1st.
Ms. Thomas says she carried her son Carson completely alone. No partner, no support, no baby shower, no father in the delivery room. She didn't even tell her family because she didn't want them to judge her. And when she finally reached out again, through a new number, he still didn't believe her.
Oh, 9 months.
You did?
For my whole family, because I didn't want to have another child without their dad.
So the entire 9 months you went without the support?
When I went into labor, my family was like, what? You in the hospital having what? I said, I'm in the hospital having my baby.
And you had no idea, Mr. McKee?
No, man, I didn't know she was having a baby, Your Honor.
Here's the plot twist. Mr. McKee is no stranger to complicated relationships either. The defendant casually drops a bomb in court. He has got 2 more babies on the way, but it's not twins. It's 2 women, 2 sisters. Yes, he got 2 sisters in the same family pregnant at the same time. They're about a month apart, both girlfriends. Even the judge is stunned. Ms. Thomas herself can't believe it.
I have a daughter.
You do, and so this would be your first son?
I have 2 more on the way.
You have 2 more kids on the way right now?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Mr. McKee says his own family is split. His mother thinks the baby could be his. His aunt and other people around say the child looks nothing like him. It's made every interaction with Carson a question mark. With everything we've heard, I believe we've heard enough. Let's jump to the part we've all been waiting for. The moment to hear the DNA test results is upon us.
Mr. McKee, you are not the father.
Are you serious?
He is not the father, Ms. Thomas. Ms. Thomas, you claim you spent 6 years in a relationship with the defendant, Mr. Taylor, and gave him 5 beautiful children. In return, he cheated on you and is now questioning the paternity of your youngest child, 8-month-old Jakai. You are here to prove paternity and win him back, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
6 years, 5 kids, 1 man, and now a whole new wife. Ms. Thomas says she gave Mr. Nelson everything: her youth, her loyalty, her children. But now, when it comes to her youngest baby, Jakai, he says that one might not be his. Why? Because now he's married, and suddenly she's the ex. The problem, the mistake.
The only thing that I can think of is because he recently got married.
Is that true, Mr. Nelson?
No, it's not, Your Honor.
Mr. Nelson tells a different story. He says while he stayed home with their 4 children, she started sneaking out. He claims she was seeing other men, and her phone had pictures of another guy. Astonishingly, she admits to stepping out. Ms. Thomas doesn't deny cheating. She did mess around with someone else, but only after Mr. Nelson repeatedly cheated on her for years.
So wait a minute, you had 4 children together, and then you find out Ms. Thomas is with another guy?
Yes, that's
How did you find that out?
The dude picture was popping up on her phone.
It didn't start like that. He decided to leave because at that
Why did I
time
leave, though?
we did grow apart.
I used to find stuff on her purse and everything. She was like, I'm going to work today.
Ms. Thomas says there was no confusion. They tracked her ovulation. They had sex during her most fertile days. She even showed the court the app. The plaintiff claims they wanted this baby. According to her, the defendant said they should go for number 5, and they did. But once she was pregnant, he vanished. Then he reappeared with a wife.
Your Honor, that is not true.
I asked her, I said, you gained some weight. She was like, oh, I've been eating a lot.
And then
So
what
I
else?
was like,
And Your Honor, that same day he said that, we walked to the store and I took 2 pregnancy tests in front of him.
Here's where it gets explosive. Even after marrying another woman, Mr. Nelson kept sleeping with Ms. Thomas. She has messages, dates, and receipts. They were even together just 3 weeks ago. He told her he wants to come home, that he misses his family, and it gets worse. His wife didn't know until she found the video.
And he was trying to lie then because we were still messing around even when he was with her.
I wish I had the old phone. I could show you.
I have text messages also that we still mess around still to this day.
Oh. Mighty quiet now, Mr. Nelson.
Ms. Campbell, his wife, saw it all. April 3rd, that's the date on the video. She confronted him. He tried to lie, but the truth was on his phone. In HD, the defendant tries to apologize to his new wife in court, but we all know he is only sorry right now because he got caught. He literally played both women and pitched them against each other.
Me and my wife had got into some problems, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was like, what would be different this time if I did come back? My mama told me, that's your covenant. You can't break your covenant for somebody else because that's between me, her, and God. I broke my covenant with my baby mama, and I've been repenting for it and stuff like that.
Now both women are throwing verbal jabs at each other in court over a man that cheated on them. And as you would expect, the judge doesn't hold back. She takes them to school. Judge Lake reminds them that they are not on different levels. One has a ring, the other has his children, but they're both getting played.
Not nobody's side chick because your husband is the one that tells me he wants to leave.
But that makes you a side chick.
No,
it
it
makes you a
doesn't.
side chick. We're
No, it
legally
does not.
married.
Wait a minute. No, it does not. No, it does not.
Listen.
He told me he married you out of spite.
No, I did.
Let's get some order. Let's get some order. Both of you all confused. He's sleeping with both of y'all.
Now, Ms. Thomas watches another woman live the life she built. She admits it still hurts. She could have been Mrs. Nelson, but she turned it down. Now she's just the mother of his kids, and the woman he sneaks back to. Yet, Mr. Nelson claims he's caught in the middle, but his texts say otherwise. The things he said in the text messages would make your jaw drop.
I want him to leave me alone, honest. If he's gonna make his marriage work, let your marriage work. I'll try to move forward with my life. He texts me, he calls me and tells me how much he misses me and wants to be with me.
The judge cuts through the drama. She schools the plaintiff again without requesting tuition fees, and Ms. Thomas nods, quietly. She knows he didn't just fall into her bed. She opened the door to him. Apparently, she just wanted to feel like she mattered, like she wasn't disposable. Now, where has that gotten her?
Everything between the two of us is strictly emotion, right? It's strictly because you feel some kind of way and I feel some kind of way.
Honestly, I don't feel no type of way.
Yes, you do.
If you're gonna make your marriage work,
Stop. There's no sense in standing here when the woman's just trying to acknowledge that both of you are in an emotional battle.
It's no longer about the past, not the cheating, not the marriage, and definitely not the texts or the video. This is about baby Jakai, and whether the man who helped create 4 other children is also the father of this one. So, it's high time we got to the bottom of this hearing. Let's hear the DNA test results.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Nelson, you are the father.